Well, hey everybody, I'm Eddie Provident. This is DK Pittsburgh Sports. You're watching Steelers Today. With me as always is Dale Lolley. No, I'm not Dale Lolley, and I'm here to help you because you're terrible at this. This show is brought to you by BetQL, the only app that you're gonna need to get a jump on your sports book and get the advantage that you want for your betting. But what is going on right now? They scan over 350,000 unique bets per year to give you a best bet advantage over all of your bets for all major sports. Hey, and you know what else it does? It covers everything. Baseball, football, hockey, every single sport, every single bet that you can think of. You don't need your phone for this one. Their algorithms look at everything, historical data, weather, matchups, performance, anything that you can think of, their algorithms cover it. Go to try.betql.co/DKPS to get started now. Or if you just download the BetQL app, you make your life easier. Use the discount code DKPS at checkout. Right now, if you use DKPS at checkout, you get 25% off any subscription. And if you use the BetMGM offer, you get $200 towards any wager, whether it wins or loses. BetQL's algorithm went 13-2 on 5-star bets in week 1 of the NFL season between Thursday and Sunday. So make sure that you take advantage of BetQL now. All the information is in the description below. Check out the link try.betql.co/DKPS.
Hello and welcome to Steelers Today. He's Dale Lolley. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. We're both from DK Pittsburgh Sports, and we're both,
here in the Factory of Sadness.
In Factory of Sadness, Cleveland. It's sad.
It was very sad.
They are sad.
They're very sad, because on Halloween, the boogeyman, Ben Roethlisberger, came in here and did it to him once again.
And he did. And when he came off the field, he was coming off. We've covered this guy's whole career, and we've seen him when he's emotional, and we've seen him when he's just, okay, we won. He really appreciated this. Now, whether it's because he has somewhere in the back of his mind that this could be his last game in Cleveland, he goes out as a winner in a stadium that he's owned for 20 years, or what, I don't know, but he appreciated it.
He appreciated it. I think there's a lot of layers to this, and you heard the guys after the game talking about it. The young guys coming in here and doing the job. The 2 touchdowns were scored by Freiermuth and Harris. The job that Dan Moore did on the left tackle against one of the top pass rushers in the league, in Myles Garrett. He had 1 sack today. Solo. And
no, I'm talking about Dan Moore
by himself.
And I was critical of him at times because I just expect, it's a one-on-one block, do something.
Right.
And you only notice whenever somebody's going bad, but it's a one-on-one assignment.
They allowed 2 sacks today. They ran the ball effectively. The points, weren't necessarily there, but some of that was because, they didn't have a kicker. That certainly affects the way this game was played out. I think it affects how you coach it in the second half. I think you're a little more conservative in terms of, okay, we're gonna try to shorten the game here because we want this to be a 15-10 game. We don't want this to turn into a shootout because a lot of times we're going to be trading 6s for 7s. You may get an 8 here and there. As Mike Tomlin said, they had 9 2-point conversion plays. They might have used them all in this game.
Yeah, and all of that ultimately comes back to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin had this rather strong statement about Ben Roethlisberger near the end of his session with us just now.
He is the ultimate competitor. I think we all kind of mirror him in that regard.
And while we're tossing it to video, here's what Ben Roethlisberger had to say when I asked him about the emotions of winning here and how they won.
No, I control my emotions. I just told those guys, I said, don't ever, I told Naj and I just told the line, don't ever take a win against these guys in this stadium for granted, ever. Because it's always hard fought, it's something special. I've played a lot of games here, and I don't take any of them for granted.
To that point, this is a big win for this football team.
Yes.
If you look at it,
you're not even talking about standings, are you?
I'm not talking about standings.
I thought so, yeah.
I'm talking about a win in the AFC North.
Yeah.
You'd already lost to the Bengals at home. They lost to the Jets on Sunday, by the way. So you lost to them at home. You couldn't go to 0-2 in the division
So you are talking about the standings.
Well, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, not necessarily the standings as currently, but if you're going to win your division, you probably have to go at least 4-2 in the division, based on how everybody else is playing. If you lose the first two, that means you got to go 4-0 the rest of the way.
Yeah.
This would have put you in last place. Now you know who's in last place?
Yeah, these guys. This factory, what is it? Factory of Sadness?
These guys who were picked by everybody, including myself, by the way, to win this division.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves as far as like they were all saying, and there's a long way to go. I see.
There definitely is.
I'm going to take it a different direction away from the standings. Obviously, I agree with you completely on the standings. It's math. But at the same time, there's something about this team winning in Buffalo. Let's not forget that. That game was real. It existed. I know a lot of people, cynics, have tried to wipe it off the slate, like, Buffalo, yeah, the Bills just weren't ready or whatever. Hey, they were both out on the field, and the Steelers beat them. Then the Steelers lose 3 games in a row. And, wow, I mean, the general conversation
from here,
okay,
to where you can't even see it on this video
where
anymore.
In ways that I can't even describe. Dale and I talk about this sort of thing between ourselves all the time, but it was really down. I mean, it was like, let's play for a draft pick and
pull
start
Roethlisberger and play Mason Rudolph, because you're going to see what you have for next year.
And this team, for whatever else you can say about Mike Tomlin, and there are a lot of righteous criticisms. Heck, he had some of them himself about his own work today. His teams don't fold.
No, they don't.
They just keep battling. And this season reminds me more of the London season than any other, where the Steelers were down 0-4 and came back and actually made a thing out of it, which was unbelievable at 0-4. This was 1-3, and they're now 4-3.
This is why whenever people start talking about replacing that coach or this coach or whatever, or Mike Tomlin, doesn't do this, these are coaching wins, folks. These are games that you come into, and call it what you will. Mike Tomlin outcoached Kevin Stefanski. I know everybody wants to talk about the playoff game last year. Maybe Stefanski outcoached Tomlin in that game. If that's the case, so be it. But Tomlin outcoached him in this game.
Well, Stefanski was the one, by the way, who advised Marquise Pouncey to snap the ball over Ben's head. Yeah. When we come back, stay with us. More on Steelers Today. Welcome back. Dale is going through the. They call it a book in the football world, in the football press box. They call these books because there's a lot of pages to this.
All kinds of info in there.
Lots of information. It's distributed after the game. And what we were just looking up here was
Najee Harris's rushing stats. And I know people are going to look at this and say, well, he only averaged 3.5 yards a carry. It was over 4 until late in that game, when they were, everybody in the stadium knew that Najee Harris was going to get the football. And I thought Ben Roethlisberger brought up a good point when he said, look, Najee Harris, I thought he ran smart at the end, protecting the football. The Browns are coming in there to punch the football. Think about the playoff game in Cincinnati in 2017 or 16, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. The only way the Steelers can win that football game is if the Bengals fumble. And guess what they did?
Yeah, they fumbled.
Yeah. So in that situation, you're covering up the ball with both hands. I'm just going to go in here, get 2 yards and get down, keep it moving. If something more presents itself, I'll get it. But they stayed on schedule with that running game. They outrushed the Browns, who everybody thought coming into this game.
Well, everybody should have thought. That's not something that you would quibble with anybody
but
making that prediction.
Nick Chubb to 3.8 yards.
Nick Chubb wasn't, in fairness, Nick Chubb wasn't at full strength. They didn't have Kareem Hunt, and a lot of their rushing threats come from Baker Mayfield being mobile, which they weren't going to allow.
He hasn't done that all year.
If there was a point of criticism, not to change the subject here because we're not doing Browns today, but I didn't understand not using Dearness Johnson hardly at all when he ran for 140 yards. Yeah, but the whole thing made no sense.
Again, if you look at the play on which Jack Conklin got hurt happened early in the second quarter. Nick Chubb didn't have another carry the rest of the first half.
No, he didn't.
And to me, that was partly, and I asked Cam Hayward about this, because your offense was staying on the field. Now, they weren't great on third down conversions, but they did get some fourth down conversions. The offense was able to stay on the field.
The Pittsburgh offense
stayed on the field longer than the Browns offense. The Browns came into this game leading the league in time of possession.
Time of possession because they can grind it out, and they weren't able to do that.
And
but
they
the
did that because
Steelers,
of Najee Harris.
Yeah, the Steelers' offense, this is the part, one of the things that I was bringing up with virtually everyone in the post-game questioning was about balance. And there was an almost universal agreement that there was better balance than any other game. Mike Tomlin didn't buy into it because he hates comparing things. He hates comparison questions, so he shot that right down. But Ben agreed with it, and Najee agreed with it. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, you can say that. We're just trying to keep stacking bricks, though. Obviously we're going to keep trying to be more, run the ball and obviously doing the passes and RPOs stuff we're doing. We're just trying to, find our identity. We're finding our identity in what we do, and we're just going to keep pushing forward, stacking bricks.
And he's right. And Ben is the one that's really with the RPO. He's the one that is
he's making a lot of those calls.
And you'll notice. Remember when I asked Ben, you could tell he kind of hesitated for a second, and then I made clear I'm not talking about the stats. And then he opened up because that's more of a feel thing.
Yeah, and you're looking at the defense. You're on the field. You're at the line of scrimmage. You say, okay, they got a light box here. I remember I made note of at one point to you when they ran Anthony McFarland out to the
left.
To the left. I said, look, that opens up the middle of the field here. Boom, next play is a Pat Freiermuth. It's over the middle of the field. It was a setup play. That's what you're trying to do.
By the way, I laughed at Dale when he said that. And Dale turned out to
use
be right.
the middle of the field? Like, that's what they're trying to set up there.
And then the pass goes to Freiermuth in the middle. I'm getting this action in the press box. Like, see?
But you can see these things develop, and you see this when you know. I mean, I'm at practice every day. I know what they're trying to accomplish and what they're trying to run. And so, you see those things. They're really, really trying to establish Najee Harris as an every down back, as a threat. And at this point, they have.
Yeah, they have. He's still. It was 26 carries for 91 yards and the aerial touchdown right here in this end zone. And he'll get his 100-yard game.
He'll
get it.
He catches the ball. There. Yeah, he does everything as you want. I mean, you talk about blitz pickup, all those things. Maybe doesn't have the flashy stats that Jamar Chase has right now, but he's certainly the rookie of the year on this particular team. And that's nothing. That's not saying.
No, considering how much they're all contributing here, the Steelers won this game. It was looking for the score.
15-10.
15-10. See, that's why you'd have to look around for it. It's such a weird score. Plus, they really hide the score in this place.
Well, you know what they can't hide? They can't hide the sadness.
Sadness. Here comes the airplane over our heads, too.
More sadness.
More sadness. There's an aerial view of the sadness from up there. We'll do Steelers today again in a couple days. Remember, the next game is a Monday nighter against the Bears, and after that, it's the Lions. Don't do that to yourself.
Oh my.
Don't do that.